welcome to Anchor and the Buoy.
That's your opinion.
That is your opinion. So, a lot of stuff happened in the news yesterday. Last night, I was talking to my wife as we were kind of reviewing the stuff that had happened in the day, and there's a lot of big things that happened yesterday, like significant things.
Yeah.
So, start off with a couple of them. I actually thought it'd be kind of fun just to go through Donald Trump's tweet. I think a lot of people don't really know what he tweets.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple things to look out for here. So the just revealed FBI agent Lisa Page transcripts. She was an attorney for the FBI during the Clinton cover-up and then again during the Trump special counsel. Transcripts make the Obama Justice Department look exactly like it was, a broken and corrupt machine. Hopefully justice will finally be served and so much more. And that goes on to continue with things like... This is all his retweets. Why did Amashiv say that talks with Cohen were limited to him inviting and allaying any concerns about threats to his family, but not mention the 14 hours staff spent prepping Cohen? Got a bunch of stuff that's just come out about the stuff looking into him. Looks like he went on a tweet storm here. New York State and its governor, Andrew Cuomo, are now proud members of the group of presidential harassers. No wonder people are fleeing the state in record number. The witch hunt continues. Thought it was pretty interesting. I mean, he's been going at it a lot, and it kind of goes back to last year. I don't know if you remember, but he put that tweet out that said, "When did the trials for treason begin?"
Mm-hmm.
And, you got stuff like this, and what those transcripts clearly show is they were going to charge Hillary, and they were told not to. So that goes back to that Bill Clinton meeting with Loretta Lynch.
The FBI was going to charge?
The FBI was going to charge Hillary Clinton. And the DOJ, the top of the DOJ, Loretta Lynch, came back and said no. And Loretta Lynch had just been caught on the tarmac with Bill Clinton, right? So there's a whole series of things that don't make sense, but you do see a total cover-up. And then he doesn't tweet about it today. I'm sure he will later. But what they're finding is there's a lot more under here. Comey testified under oath that it was unanimous decision on crooked Hillary. Lisa Page transcripts show he lied. So we got all kinds of perjury at the least, let alone potentially other high crimes at the very top of the DOJ and the FBI. What's your opinion? I know that there's a burn it to the ground strain that always comes out.
No, my opinion is that unless they find a scapegoat, no one's going to get charged with anything.
Okay.
No one's going to get in trouble unless they can find a scapegoat.
Okay.
The people who we want to get in trouble aren't going to get in trouble.
Well, who are the people we want to get in trouble? Because I think a lot of people right now, because it looks like it's Barack Obama is the ringleader. Like, there's a lot of stuff pointing right to the top. He was briefed. He saw it. I don't think he will get in trouble. I think he's the one that's going to get protected. I think Comey...
Name any big name. They won't get in trouble.
Okay, Lisa Page.
Never heard of her.
I'm gonna go back in time here, so don't pay attention to the screen. I'm just gonna scroll crazily till I see what I want to see. So I don't know, man. There's a whole slew of people that I just don't know what to think about it. Like, I think James Comey, I think Loretta Lynch, I think Eric Holder, I think Hillary Clinton is in deep shit. I think people surrounding her are going to go down. I mean, the president's retweeting stuff like this. Law set to expose coup against real Donald Trump, another FBI cover-up of potential Clinton email crimes, cleaning up dirty voting lists, plus standing up for the cross in the Supreme Court.
Okay, I want to talk about what we do about it, because I guarantee you nothing's going to happen to Hillary. So we need to figure out how to fix that.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about what's going to happen to her because nothing's going to happen to her.
So this is where I think
she's the people like her, they're the untouchables.
So here's this. If thinking that James Comey is not a good FBI director is tantamount to being an agent of Russia, then just list all the people that are agents of Russia. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Rod Rosenstein, who wrote the bill to get rid of them.
Why did Nancy Pelosi say that impeachment was not just? Was she actually trying to be a human being? Or is there another angle?
Their party is split. So they ran on the impeach Trump, Trump's a bad guy, resist Russia collusion hoax, and they lost in the they lost the House the first go round. The second in the midterms, They won the House back, and there's about 60 new seats. 54 of them are moderates, like not running on impeachment, tried to appeal to the middle Republican voters that voted for Trump that then voted for them Democrats in the primary. But there's those 4 young freshmen that are part of that SYNC group, the Young Turks, that got backed by that radical left.
So she's doing it to protect the people who really need to be impeached.
They will lose their whole majority.
Okay.
Like, there's not a movement in the Democrats to impeach him, but the most vocal, the part that has all the energy, does. And they're in open conflict with Nancy Pelosi. So
there is no chance she's just trying to be like what we would expect.
So these tweets.
Hold on. There's no chance that she's trying to be just an actual normal good person and be like, hey,
no,
this is crazy talk.
No, she's playing the political game.
Okay.
These tweets that Donald Trump's put out, they're not for nothing. If he puts out a tweet that doesn't prove to be even semi, like someone can get behind it and prove it, that's a lie. That's a lie to the American people. These all get archived in the Smithsonian because he's the president. So for him to even put the things we've already read, it means he knows. It means it's true. Like he could be spinning it, but it means that the evidence is going to show just that. James Comey committed perjury. So now we have to go down the what are we going to do about James Comey committing perjury route. I think any other president and most politicians would want to just close this door. Donald Trump, I don't think, is that guy. When he says things like, more to come, justice will finally be served. When I see things like that, I'm like, dude, he's not letting this go. He's like a dog on a bone. Disgraced acting FBI director Andrew McCabe pretends to be a poor little angel when in fact he was a big part of the crooked Hillary scandal and the Russia hoax, a puppet for leaking James Comey. IG report on McCabe was devastating, part of an insurance policy in case I won. Many of the top FBI brass were fired, forced to leave, or left. McCabe's wife received big dollars from Clinton people for her campaign. He gave Hillary a pass. McCabe is a disgrace to the FBI, a disgrace to our country. Make America great again.
So that's what I'm saying. All those brass that were fired from the FBI, those are the scapegoats I'm talking about. In any scenario you want to run over anything.
So that's the thing.
The no-namers are the ones who take the fall.
But they've already taken the fall. They've already been fired. They've lost their pensions. He's under criminal investigation. Mm-hmm. So that's I guess I'm just like, it takes time. The Mueller investigation is totally conflicted, illegal and rigged, should never have been allowed to begin except for the collusion and many crimes committed by the Democrats. So he's putting it right back on them. Mm-hmm. Witch hunt. These guys, the investigators, ought to be in jail. What they have done working with the Obama intelligence agencies is simply unprecedented. This is one of the greatest political hoaxes ever perpetrated on the people of this country, and Mueller is a cover-up. Rush Limbaugh. And he quotes a lot of other people because he can't say it himself.
So why is his face normal out on
his
this
face
one?
is normal. He must have just been right out of the tanning booth, man. He was so orange.
His face is normal in that video, but that other video is almost red.
He was so orange. So there's a picture that this is a long time ago. He put the picture out of when did the trials of treason begin, and you can see there's obviously a long strain going back of pointing the finger back at the people that are pushing at him. But I don't know. I remember this happened a couple days ago when he went down to Alabama. So the fake news Photoshop pictures of Melania then propelled conspiracy theories that it's actually not her by my side in Alabama and other places. They're only getting more deranged with time. I always go like every comment because he's my president. Comey anyways. Yeah, they photoshopped the two of them looking like really remorse, and it was like a picture of marital bliss, and it was photoshopped just to cut out the fact they were standing in front of a grave, so they were like really solemn, like in prayer.
That's funny.
And they made it look like they were like pissed at each other, like marital bliss. It's like, fake news.
Fake news.
That's the one that I don't like. It's too long. It just needs to be fake news.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What's your opinion? So is your opinion basically just until you see big names actually put on jumpsuits, it's kind of like whatevers?
If I'm not the one that has to do the work to try and bring these people down, then I just have to have faith that someone's going to do it.
Yeah.
And until I actually see a name come across the news, I just won't believe it's ever going to happen. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton have been on the chopping block for years.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened to him.
See, and that's where I wonder with Donald Trump. He's just that kind of guy. I mean, he's the kind of guy that he's the outsider. He's not the politician. He doesn't have the ties on the inside like they do. He's played the game from the outside for a long time. I really, truly am buying into the fact that he is a patriot that says, I might be the only guy that's got $1 billion that can run my own campaign, that has enough social media following, that I have name like he might just be that guy for all of his faults and frailties, the outsider that says enough is enough.
Okay, so I believe
Because that's the pitch he's making is enough, and I am every man's man.
I'm more inclined to believe that he's actually a patriot than not. And I'm more inclined to believe that to get good things with people, you have to accept the things you don't want.
Yeah.
He's braggadocious. He's a far-leaning type A type personality. He thinks his shit doesn't stink. But he seems to be a really good leader, I think. The economy's doing great. Half of America loves him. The other half doesn't, but I don't really know. I think the people that don't like him as president, they just don't like his personality, and they throw the baby out with the bathwater.
I've had dozens of discussions with people like, why?
Yeah,
well,
why?
Because he's a racist. It's like,
Yeah, that's not true.
That's as far from true as Paul. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So the evidence that I've seen, I like President Trump. I'm definitely not on his dick every day,
mm-hmm.
but I haven't seen him do or say anything that makes me think I should be ashamed of him to be the president. He said some tweets that are kind of like, dial it down, dial it down.
There are sometimes tweets where you're like, whoa, what the heck? But then I think of things like, all part of the witch hunt hoax started by little Eric Schneiderman and Cuomo. But when you dig into it, you're like, oh my gosh, who wouldn't say this? This is toned down.
Yeah.
Like when you go how deep, there's things like this. Like this is the kind of post that I don't like. Dear God, I bow my head to ask if it be thy will, please save this land for those from those who seek to destroy it. Amen. So this is the president of the United States retweeting Linda Schuler, PhD. She's kind of a well-known pundit, on the Christian conservative side.
That's a fictional character praying.
That is, yeah,
That
that's
person,
Uncle Sam.
That person doesn't even exist.
Yeah, that's just a picture.
That's a made-up guy.
But this is an old picture too. This is back maybe Reagan era. But the sentiment, right? Like save this land from those who seek to destroy it. When people say Donald Trump is divisive, this is what they're talking about. If you're on the other side of the aisle, you either think you're one of the ones that destroy it, or is he talking about the coup? Is he talking about these crooked, corrupt, top brass, dirty cops that weaponized and politicized our law enforcement? Is that what he's talking about? Because I'm like, well, I can get behind that because a dirty cop is a dirty cop. Or is he saying the Democrats are trying to destroy America? What is he saying here? And I think that's where it's like, is he being divisive, or is he trying to unify America behind law and order? I don't know.
I'm all for there being, at minimum, two parties, and really our country really only does have two parties, to be honest. It's just Republicans and Democrats. I'm all for that because that's a natural checks and balances. It's opposing views on things, so there's going to be opposing votes. And
Yeah.
What I don't like, so I made a T-shirt that says "Make America Normal Again."
Yep.
Because I saw a video of a guy walking down San Francisco butt-ass naked, and it's okay there.
But you can't wear the hat.
No. He's walking down the street butt-ass naked, and it's only illegal if you're erect.
Oh, jeez.
This is real. Brian Callen put it on his Instagram when he was there doing a weekend, and this dude's just walking down the street. He had a pair of suspenders on, I think, holding nothing. And the dude's dick's just bouncing all over the place. He walked by a woman and her child. And, I mean, it is just like people are purposely not making a scene because they want to be progressive there. That's the stuff that I'm like, what is going on in this world?
Okay, so that brings me to my next what's your opinion? The Make America Great Again hat, the MAGA hat. So my son, who's 6, went to the mall. I ordered these hats off Amazon. It was 2 for $7.99 or whatever. I said I'm gonna have one finally. Just gonna get one. So got delivered yesterday. My little boy loves to wear my hats. So he saw there was 2, so he grabbed one. Thought he'd have a hat like Dad. So he's wearing it all day yesterday. They went to the mall. He's walking around the mall with a Make America Great hat again on, and he didn't want to take it off. So my wife was like keeping an eye on him. She said people were giving him the stink eye.
Really?
Yeah, people were rubbernecking. And when they went to an arcade, and she wasn't going to be in perfect vision of him the whole time because he was going to go with Benson. She made him take it off. She's like, "Give me the hat."
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't want something happen when I'm not standing right there." What is your opinion on that?
I'm making a personal stand myself.
Don't kneel.
I don't kneel. I don't. It's a problem because it's a lack of communication. It is the people who don't like the hat. The reasons they don't like it are probably not true.
Does it kind of go back to this? Like they're misunderstanding the sentiment here? Like who's trying to destroy America?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to understand their point of view. I have a hard time understanding other people's point of view sometimes, and it causes a lot of strife in my life. They have had a chain of events happen, whoever the person is that doesn't like that hat, that have led them to that point to just be triggered by the hat. Some of those chain of events are validated. Some of them are total bullshit. So, I don't know, man.
So it's tricky because
I just have never heard Donald Trump say anything that I've never said.
yeah,
That's why I'm like, I can't be a bad guy. I mean, I've talked about grabbing pussy.
yeah. I mean, when he says that's locker room talk, every guy in America's like, "Damn it, yeah, mm-hmm." I mean,
A lot of men have started stories with, so I was in the car having sex with my girlfriend or my wife.
yeah, or just crassness in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I do find that to be one of the like the PC culture. I think outside of the small circles of Hollywood and DC, like the people that are in front of millions and just can't afford to
PC is
piss off the minority.
It's weird though because it's not okay for him to say they'll let you grab them by the pussy if you want to, but that's not okay. But it's okay for a movie to talk about being dominant against a woman. 50 Shades of Grey and
Yeah,
almost every woman in the country getting wet panties over it.
yeah.
Like they want it, but they don't want the man to say it. Like they want you to rape them without asking to be raped.
It's like the C.K. Lewis joke.
Yes, on the off chance that they actually wanted to be raped, you're just playing a game that you're just hoping they want you to force yourself on them. You can't tell them you're going to do it because then it ruins the mood.
So I have an interesting opinion here. So here we've got my Starbucks cup, right? And to some people, Starbucks represents a super liberal organization, which it is. They're by their actions. I mean, they're very progressive, very liberal, but they make damn good coffee.
It's so much better.
It's
than the
so
coffee
much
at my
better.
house.
It's so much better than what I brew at home, right? Like, it's amazing. I've got this Make America Great Again hat, and it's kind of the same thing. If you're a leftist, well, what has Donald Trump done that's any different than me just overlooking the liberal shit and the progressive shit of Starbucks for some good coffee? He's making the country fucking great again. Everybody's working.
Well, someone who would argue the
Isn't
other,
that enough?
someone who would argue the other side is saying that America has only been getting better. We don't want to go back. So making it something again means you go backwards.
I think the implication is that we've already gone backwards. And I think that that's his stance. So the other stance is that the Obama years we went backward. We were under 2% growth, which is devastating. We, look at the series of issues that our country could just slowly wore ourselves into. And so when he says "Make America Great Again," I get that. We don't want to go back. America never wasn't great. Okay, well, his new slogan is "Keep America Great." So can you get behind that? Like, I don't know. All right, so Donald. So the hat. My main question is this: Should we be afraid to express ourselves? I mean, do we live in a country that's so bad that you just can't express your political feelings? Like, I've seen Obama and Hillary stickers, and I've never once thought violence, key the car. I don't even hardly judge the people in them.
It's not a new topic, though. Religion and politics and money.
Yeah.
You don't talk about those things. That's been around since freaking 60s, I think.
Because it's divisive.
It's just, it causes arguments. it's okay to have different opinions, but you bring those topics up, you're asking to get into a heated debate.
So the question,
I am disgusted that a child couldn't walk around safely with it on though.
yeah,
Because the person who would attack a child, I'd like to meet them.
yeah.
Like that makes me sick.
And that's kind of like I've thought about that too. I'm like, well, I'm a big boy. I can take the heat. I can stand in a debate. Should I be wearing that hat around just to be contrarian and take the slings and arrows like Donald Trump says, or is that just
You
like
can
I don't know?
Do it on your own time.
Yeah,
Don't-
I'm not
don't-
gonna-
Don't do it on company time.
I actually think the hat is really ugly. I did get one that says "Made you look again" though, and I
There-
will be wearing that one.
I think they're meant to be ugly. I don't think he made it thinking it was cool. He's old, so back when he was a kid, that's what the hats looked
oh
like.
no, I agree. I think he went for the simplest.
He doesn't understand. Like he went for the cheapest way to get it out to as many of his constituents as possible.
I think you're right. I just think he and I also he didn't make these. In fact, I think this one's even made in China, ironically, because you can. I mean, there's nothing. You can just go on Amazon and type those words in and order the hat. Like
Yeah.
there's not even. In fact, doesn't even have a made in. It's not even a tag. There's not
Yeah.
even a fabric tag. You know how usually everything's got a tag.
Okay, well, let's talk about a story that's actually happy.